envelope, the fourth envelope, that he carried some document in it. So he went to the bank and walked straight to the tailor. And guess what he told the tailor? He told her that, look back there. You see that man? That man has a gun. And if you try even to do something stupid, I'm gonna signal him and he will shoot your boss plus the whole plus everyone inside here. He will shoot everyone. So what I want you to do is you do exactly as I tell you. And so the teller was like, what do you want me to do? And the guy said, I want you to reach into the teller box, withdraw or remove notes of 200, 100, 50s, and some coins, not even coins, just notes of 200, 50s, 100, and $500. Put them into this envelope and then give it to me. I'll walk through that guy and tell him that we are done and now we are going. And so whenever you're doing it, do it as you smile. Just put that smiling face. And then the lady was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it. Don't tremble. This is the guy telling the lady. Don't shake, don't tremble. Don't even try to signal anyone that something bad is going on. And so the lady just did exactly as the guy told him. And he packs the notes in form of 200, 500, 150s and gave to the guy. And so guess what? The guy went straight to the person who was talking to the manager. And actually, he never went to the person. He went to the manager or the bank direct. And then he just told the manager, like, that lady over there has greeted you. And he walked away. So, bearing in mind, previously he told the lady that after I've walked out of this place, 10 minutes later, please sound the alarm so that that guy doesn't shoot you. And so when he just walked past the manager asked, who is this guy? Like, he was surprised. And so the lady was like, but he said he knows you. No one got injured, no one got shot in the back, and the guy simply walked away with $100,000 that he never planned for. And actually, if you figure it out, if the guy was armed, definitely the alarm could have been sounded. The policemen could have rushed to that bank at a very high rate, because you see the emergency alarm for some countries, it's really, the rate of responding is very high. And so this guy was very, very much comfortable. And today, the whole of this is a lesson that we want to talk about today. The spirits of comfortable. And how do I put it? Because most of the people, like, if you just check, if you look at most of the people, you find that someone, he doesn't believe in himself, no matter what. He doesn't believe in himself, because at some point he just does things that it's about the way. And so this act of, like, just doing things without okay, as long as your inner self is, like, not comfortable with it, or it's okay with it, at some point having an inner discussion within you really matters. I'll give you another example. That was just one example. A man going to the bank and robbing the bank without even using a gun, or without even wearing a mask. He just went like he wore a suit, like someone who just wants to make some withdrawal or some deposits, because he had an envelope. And so I'll tell you another scenario about. Let me just say about what I'm doing right now. You find that previously I had a different thought about what I wanted to do. Like, I never imagined that I'll reach this point of hosting or having my own studio or doing this show, but I diverted my thoughts into another thing altogether. That means what? Previously, I wanted to be like do this thing we call fiber optics. I don't know if anyone of you knows it, but I know most of you guys know. Most of you are learned, and most of you guys know it. And so you find that if you try to look at the job market for fiber optics these days, uh, I haven't seen it much because you see, like there are so many people like are into that job market, and me going back by the days, at that time like it wasn't that like very much connected as compared to these days, because you find that these days at that point in time, you could find that a company could hire you, uh, uh, tell you that, or maybe a government could give you that contract, maybe of maybe 10 schools, and then maybe you do the connection of the CCTV and all that. But these days, you find that every company has his own person that does that, and some of them they even learn within the company, and so you see there could be like a whole much difference when I will be in that, and uh, by that time and now. And this is one thing that, at some point I sat down and I was like, okay, before I started this, after diverting from the fiber optic thing, before starting this, it was just kind of a thought that came. I never knew what will be the end game of it all after all that time, and then I never knew the what if it will yield the fruits. Unlike most of you guys out there, you see, I'll talk on behalf of the artists. You see, most artists, they start something, yes, but you find that along the way, they like that thing, it gets swept away with maybe different ideas coming in or different things coming in, and so you find like if an artist starts by maybe he wants to sing, and then he does the music for like a year or 2 years, and then the third year now you find like you start realizing that the music market has gone down, or maybe there is a trending style of music that is coming in, and so maybe it's not as compared to what you do. Not even on the music industry, but you find that even the comedy industry, the content creation industry, you find that every other day there is that one different thing that uh, you do and the other person doesn't do. And so when you keep on doing this, the same thing actually, as the other person is doing a different thing on a daily basis, you find that uh, at some point you will tend to lose hope. You'll sit down with yourself and you'll be like, you start having that kind of conversation. Should I do this? Should I do this? Or is it really paying? Is it really giving me the market the job market that I want? Is it giving me the market audience that I'm really focusing on? By the time you start analyzing, you find that the market audience, maybe they're diverting to another thing, and so this act of uh, having like believing in yourself, I wanted to say comfortable, but okay, the act of believing in yourself, it simply means that you can really do a lot of things, a whole lot of things when you trust in yourself, when you believe in yourself. Because if trust me, if anyone here who is watching, if you could have watched like the five, first 5 videos that I did, uh, that I started with sometimes back maybe last year, And then you look at the videos that I'm doing right now, though they're not up to the standards, yes, I agree. But now, though they're not up to the standards, you find that there is a whole difference of content, a whole difference of my speech, a whole difference of my communication to my audience, a whole difference of how I have packaged everything that's or how there is a whole difference of how my team package a whole difference of all that I'm doing, and so it's just a little push that every other person needs to like do whatever is right, like do whatever is needful. I think this is what takes or makes some artists survive in the competitive market that is outside there. Plus, just sticking to one thing, sometimes you see you should have like a whole different thing. I was saying you should have like a whole different thing of how you are doing or how you are handling uh, your next situation. Not really next situation, but your next step. Because I'll use maybe example of artists, but I won't say their names. I find that when an artist, sometimes back he was, uh, let's take an example of maybe the comedy industry. You find that an artist was doing comedy, like in shows and all that. Then, as time goes by, you find that comedy show is not doesn't have that market audience as it was back then. And then you find that as long as you want to maintain your comedy history and all that, you have to like divert, uh, not diverting from the comedy, but diverting in the essence of like doing a whole lot of different things. The same subject, yes, but a whole lot of different characteristics and all that, involving different characteristics, different different audiences, actually engaging in different audiences, and so this will keep you going. And then okay, after realizing that you are engaging in a different audience, then you find that you will have a whole lot of different ideas. Like every other day when you wake up, you do another thing. When you wake up, you do another thing. I love like allow me to use a name. I love the spirit of Crazy Ken. Like every other time, he does a whole different thing, because when he started and now, if you see him when he started the comedy or the content creation back then, and then now you look at him now, the Crazy Kena for now and the Crazy Kena that was there back then, these are two, like something has just gone up between the guys, between this same person in two different subjects. Something has really gone up, and so that is the trend. The same, if I'm doing this show right now today, and you look at the show that I started, like I just started this as a storytelling thing. Uh, when you look at it, like the first 5 videos that I was doing back then, and then you look at what I'm doing right now, I believe to me what I'm saying or my team can tell me, to me it's a whole different thing, because every other day I always look forward to adjust. I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm not saying I'm doing my best, because even the subscribers will still tell you, kindly, when you find this attracting, when you find this influencing, please don't hesitate to subscribe. So at the same time, we're still looking for subscribers out there. We are still waiting for those notification bells, like you see. And so this means that as time goes by, each day, each time, every moment, every single hour, I need to like come up with a whole different thing. I need to come up with a whole different content creation. I need to come up with a whole different idea of what I want to educate people. Of what I want to educate people, of what I want my audience to learn from me, of what perhaps the mistake that I did, the mistake that some people did, and perhaps and maybe some stories that I bring here that I believe will be much educative to my audience outside there and around the world, around the globe. And so I have to every time figure it out. I have to I always sit down, watch different interviews, different conversations, different uh, podcasts, and I learn something. I really learn a lot, and that's exactly what maybe uh, some of my teams outside there I should do. Or maybe if you are listening to me and you're stagnant at one point of in your life, then trust me, that's not your comfort zone. You should always feel when you feel like you wanna do something and you're you are being dragged behind by maybe your comfort zone. It shouldn't be exactly what should happen to you. You should actually try so hard to move out of that, to do a little bit something different, and then with that, when they always say little by little fills a measure. When you start doing it little kidogo kidogo, every other time, you put into practice every other time. That means you've called a meeting within yourself, you've discussed with yourself, and now you are able to move to another step. You're not just configured. You're not just configured around your thoughts. That is, and so for today's lesson, I just want to tell every other person that is outside there, my listeners who is listening to me, the audience that are outside there, that learning from the story from the bank, the customer that went to the bank in form of a customer and so ended up robbing the bank without a gun or a gun, and walked away with $100,000. That's another story. It's another story altogether to just make you learn something, because it tells us that there is that power of the word, and so your words are so powerful, and whatever you say within you or with your mouth, trust me, that thing at some point in your life it will come to happen. And then always believe in yourself, because if this guy hadn't believed in himself that he can just rob a bank in a plain daylight like that, trust me, he would be shivering and asking himself a whole lot of questions. And trust me, I'm not saying that you go outside there and rob the bank. That was just a story. It wasn't a reality. It is a story that I read in a certain book somewhere. And so I decided to come and maybe make it a startup so that we can learn something from it. It's just about being how do I put it? It's about being self-driven with what you want, being confident with yourself. That's the moral of the story. Being confident with yourself. And then my story as well, me starting podcast using just a simple phone, not having anything like microphone or anything, and then now slowly by slowly just coming to this point that now I am, and then I'm still looking forward to move to a bigger have a bigger margin of or a wider thoughts or a wider audience than I have right now. And so that means I'm gonna do things differently. I'm gonna do things in a whole different thing. And so thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you find this interesting, just like I said earlier, if you find it much educative, much interesting, kindly don't forget to hit the subscription button. Don't forget to turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss every other episode that's coming next. And so thank you guys. Till you meet again next time.